We are currently up in Hatcher Pass. One thing we want to do tonight is give the camper a shakedown test. We have a bunch of gear. We don't have all the gear that we would need on a longer adventure, but we have enough to tent and have fun, and we have the whole family. We'll learn some things, we'll note some things down so that next time it's that much better of an experience. Truck said it was 28 degrees when we got here, so let's see how fast this thing warms up. So you're just gonna kick this on, and it starts with a little bit of cold air before the furnace actually starts to engage. I'm also gonna adjust the thermostat there so that it wants to kick hotter air and stay warmer. We have a thermometer with us. It was riding in the truck with us, and then we just brought it outside. So it's only saying like 40, 45 degrees right now. So we'll use this, and one of our CO detectors has a thermostat on as well. And we can see the temperature gradient between outside and inside, and we'll look at different areas in the camper throughout the night as well. We're about a minute from it turning on, and now it's blowing hot air, so that's really nice. So we'll turn the backlight on. Doesn't look like it's going to be too windy tonight, so I'm going to take this thermometer and place it out here, lent up against this can. And that'll allow us to just peek out the back window and see what temperature it is outside. Next thing I need to do is get the family in here, and we need to start configuring. It'll be my wife and I and my dog sleeping on this lower section, and then our son, the bassinet, is up top, and we'll place him up there to sleep. The higher you go in the camper, the more heat should exist, because heat rises. So if we are comfortable here, then he should be comfortable there. If we get cold here, he still may be comfortable up there, but it'll give us an indicator on needing to do something so that he doesn't get too cold. And in just that short period of time, we are at 76 degrees. So we're actually too hot. So I'm going to turn the thermostat down a little bit, which will eventually kick that off. And what we really want to do is stabilize at somewhere around 68. We don't want to burn up too much fuel. We don't get too cold. 68's great for a newborn, so that's what we're going to shoot for. Can't really see it, but there's a little thermometer in there. And then the dial here to set the temperature for the thermostat isn't like set it to a certain degree. It's just, you know, cold or hotter. Maybe we figure out how that actually corresponds to temperature. But for now, we'll just put it in the middle and see what that gets us. You can hear the furnace exhaust going up here. It's pretty hot right there. One thing that I'd probably note is I don't want to park right up against some trees or limbs that are hanging right below in front of this, because it'd probably light them on fire, and that wouldn't be great. Let's release the hounds. Okay, sweetie. Good girl. That's our dog, Ruby. She's an adventure dog. She is an awesome skeezer dog, and what that means is she pulls us while we are on our skis. I've really wanted to do a series of videos where it's just her and I skiing. That might be happening this year. Ruby, come here. Come here, sweetie. Yeah, that's right. Load up. Load up. Good girl. Good girl. All right, we got half the family loaded up. Little man is nursing in the cab of the truck. And once they get in here, we will start the full organization. And while we are waiting on them, we will feed Ruby. She has not had her dinner yet. We got your bowl, and we got your kibbies. It's kind of funny, the stuff that you eventually use for camping. My wife's dad purchased butter, and it came in this little bowl. And now it's Ruby's Adventure Kibbles bowl. Good girl, sweetie. Everyone's here now. Time to organize the camper for us to sleep in it. We don't know what we're doing yet, and that's okay, because that's all part of the fun of having a new thing. You get to test it out, see what you like about it, know what you want to bring the next time. Tristan brought some fridge snacks, non-alcoholic beers.
It's got jam on it from going to the cabin.
It's got some old jelly all over it. It's got some jelly on the lid too. That's the carbon monoxide detector, and it has a
It's got a thermometer gauge on it.
thermometer on it as well.
Pretty warm.
It's
but
pretty warm in here. It
It's
said
also really close to
the cold
No,
stuffs.
that's heat exhaust. That's where
This is
it's at.
intake.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why you don't feel any air coming out. What we need to do is bring the bench to the smallest bed first. To do that, we gotta move some things. Like my Ruby. All right, Rube, get skinny.
Oh. Back it up, Ruby. Back.
Back over here. Wait, no. Wait. All right. Watch your... You need to step out, I think.
Snow, Birkenstock, dark. Got him.
Okay. So we're just trying to turn the bench into a bed with everyone in here, and there's not enough space. So Tristan and baby boy stepped outside. I've got a baby.
Mommy's got you.
So now we are going to make our beds. First thing I wanted to do was I wanted to lay down a blanket on top of the platform here. So I'm going to move some stuff out of the way. And I brought this big, nice blanket. It'll cover this whole space. Yeah, Ruby loves this blanket.
She doesn't like this blanket on her.
She's just going to try to get on top of it before it gets all undone.
It's not her.
Look out, sweetie! Look out, sweetie! We do not currently have a mattress. We are making plans for a mattress. One thing that we want the mattress or pads to do is allow us to use them when the bed is in a couple of different configurations, as well as be storable. And it probably will be stored up against the back right there. That way it'll be used for a cushion on the bench seat. And then when everything is folded up against the wall, the mattress can somehow be also tethered to the wall. Because we don't have a mattress at the moment, we have sleeping pads. They're good sleeping pads. We've used them on a lot of adventures, tent camping. And so in here, no different. Gives you a nice inflatable mattress to lay on. So there's one. And the second one's here.
It's pretty expensive, isn't it? I've never blown into it like that. Cushion. Ruby's sabotaging you. Gosh, you guys.
Hi, Poobert. The battery is reading 12.7 volts right now. There's no reason for it to be not full because it's been sitting out all week in the sun. When I first came in here, it was saying like 12.3, 12.4. And I was wondering why is it showing, and it showed half the battery. But it's probably because it was just really cold in here. And as it's been heating up, the gauge is showing that the battery is now 3/4 full, not half full like it was showing earlier. Not that it's charging, but that it's just now like recognizing a little bit. I'm going to put mine on that side. And lastly, we have our sleeping bags. And these are summer bags, even though it's 20-something degrees out right now, and will probably be lower than that tonight. We expect to be warm in here. I'm not going to sleep with much on tonight, so that way if it does get cold in here, I'll know immediately. What we will use for comfort is our pillows from home. I brought an extra blanket as well, one of these Rumples. They are a down blanket. Probably won't need that. This is Tristan's summer bag. and she has a pillow as well. We got our puppy already claiming a spot. So these are 2 camping pads side by side sitting on the smaller bed configuration. This is basically a footprint of a 2 to 3 person tent. From years of tent camping, we know that this is enough space to be comfortable to sleep the 2 of us and a dog. One thing that is different about this than in the tent is you have this little ledge off the side of the bed that Tristan's pad or whoever's on the outside's pad would then like fall off of, slide off of. So if there's a way that we can keep the pad on, this would be plenty good. One way is if we had a pad that was the full width, so a single pad instead of 2 separate camping pads, or if there's a way to like tether the pads or make some blockade so that the mattress wouldn't slide off. It's kind of getting hot in here now that it's been in the 70s for 20 minutes. We need a place to hang some coats, like a mesh,
put a mesh bag or something, and something
on the
to
top.
cover.
So what are you thinking? Do you want to keep it like this, or do you want to make the bigger bed?
I think I want to keep it like this.
Keep it like this for a little while, and if you want to change it up, we can always in the middle of the night just pull this thing up and plop it in.
Yeah.
So you like that there's like this little walkway so you can step out of the truck.
Yeah.
We got kind of a late start this evening, and what I did is I threw all our gear in these yellow totes. We don't have anything packed away in any of the drawers or cabinets yet. Because we don't really know what we need, I brought a little bit of everything, and we're probably still missing a whole bunch of stuff if we're going to do a longer adventure. And I don't know which box has what in it, so I'm going to have to open both of them and go through them a little bit. And you can see what I brought. We got a board game, headlamp. We got some bags that Tristan packed. This looks like kitchen stuff. So I can see a jet boil and I can smell some coffee. Put that over there. Tristan's clothes bag, it looks like. My clothes bag, just 1 pair of shorts. Yes, I only brought 1 pair of shorts. That's the only thing I brought. Hunting rags for next year so that I can read that. The camper doesn't have an inverter in it, but it does have a 12-volt outlet. And so this is the 12-volt plug-in and gives us 2 outlets to plug into. If we had a device that only needs AC power, then we would use this little speaker in case we want to listen to some music. Let's look in the other one and we can consolidate the 2 buckets. So in here, I did bring a cold weather bag. Worst case scenario, we can't drive the truck away and the heater doesn't work. That seems like a far stretch, but if that happened, I can keep our little man warm with this. We're in a spot that doesn't have cell service great. I brought an inReach because of that. If we did run into something, we could call somebody and they'd be able to come up here and help us out. So we're not in imminent danger if something happens, but it's always good to just be able to self-arrest and get yourself out of scenarios, especially if you have all this room for gear. Toilet paper, 550 cord, some zip ties. We brought a small emergency / recovery kit. We got a saw, a hatchet, we got a first aid kit, we got another cold weather pad, we got a shovel because it's snowing up here, and then we have some fire starters. It's a pretty simple kit. Didn't bring a lot. You don't really need a lot in a single overnight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these buckets underneath the bed so we have more foot space, and we can tackle this pile of gear that we are going to organize and move around inside the camper. All right, now we can walk around in here a little bit easier. It's probably not best to have a bucket like this right here, but I kind of like the idea of having a little bit of an end table over here. Kind of give you a spot to put some of your stuff. So what we'll do with this space is we'll put his diaper bag right here, and I'll make sure that we're not blocking this CO detector. Redundancy in CO detectors in a small space like this, it's not a big deal. It's actually, if you have one, just bring it. So we're gonna configure his space up here a little bit better. So we got all sorts of room behind the bassinet and on the side. I like to keep the sleeping bag out, so it's a good spot for it. You can go back there. And that's well and out of the way. You can put the rumple blanket back there too, the extra sleep stuff. Tristan's clothes bag can go right here. That way she has access to it. One thing that you don't want to do is block the air intake that's in the back corner. What we'll probably want to do is get some dedicated buckets or storage, like egg crates or whatever like that. So that way when we put things back there, it's kind of confined. We'll put your headlamp on the clothes bag front edge right here. So if you needed that for whatever reason. And just like that, we have a lot less stuff on the counter. We brought this here for Ruby because she's going to jump outside and get her paws all wet and dirty. So we'll wipe them off before she comes and tramples all over our sleeping bags. We have a heater vent that's just below the cabinet right here. So putting a cooler down right below the cabinet's not a good idea because it's going to get really hot. So this should go closer to the door. Our board game can live in this cabinet, as well as our teepee. We'll place the inverter in one of the drawers. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We need to start a trash bag because we're gonna have dirty diapers imminently. And there's a handle on the rear part of the camper right here that we can attach a trash bag to. And then we got our kitchen items here. Tristan made coffee cake this morning, so that's what we're gonna have for breakfast. We have coffee. We have a jet boil to get us some hot water. We have more trash bags, so those can live in one of the storage areas for now. We got coffee making stuff. We got fuel for the jet boil. We got milk for coffee, and we got a lighter. One thing we need to do before we go to bed is ensure that this whole area is completely cleaned off because this is our changing station. A lot of you said that we should have gotten a cooktop and a sink and all this stuff. And yeah, you can always just cover all that stuff up and use it as something else. This isn't a place that we want to live out of. This is a place to access adventure, not be the adventure for us. We want to have things simple, and simple in this scenario is just a flat surface. And for the foreseeable future, it's really just going to be a changing table and a place to make a sandwich. Let's go check outside, see what temperature it is. So it's looking like it's 24 degrees. Not a whole lot of snow has fallen yet, but we're getting a little bit of a dusting. Charge my phone up a little bit.
You woke up when Mama set you down. We don't want to be set down. We don't want to be set down. That's true, dog. Oh. Flips.
So we need to put baby boy down to sleep, and I've been leaving all of the lights on in here so that the camera can pick up the best shot that it could, but we need to start turning a couple of them off. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to leave the one that's over the counter. One thing that we definitely need to get is window covers for winter camping. It's best to ventilate, quite a bit of ventilation actually, when you're in here, because you're just breathing this hot, moist breath. And anything metal or the windows is going to fog up. There's a lot of condensation that'll form. This camper, because all the walls are wood and insulated foam, should not get wet, but anything like the metal around the windows will, as well as like the hardware on the door. You can feel it's like a little bit moist. I can imagine if it was like -40 outside, we probably wouldn't be taking little man on an adventure, but when he's a little bit older, we could. We're a little overcautious, probably. We're first-time parents. He can't roll over yet, so for him to be able to, you know, like save himself in a scenario where he gets wrapped up in blankets or a sleeping bag, he's incapable of doing that. He's close. Maybe towards the end of the winter, maybe end of winter, early spring camping, we can get him in a sleeping bag. I set up our changing station. Taking care of business, cheek to cheek. These wipies out. A couple diapies out. stacked up for the middle of the night. I give to you the changing table. You okay? You want your binky man? So we've been hanging out for a little while, and I put the thermometer down towards the floor of the truck. I was just curious at what the temperature gradient would be from down there up to the counter. We're getting about 60 degrees, and up here it was getting like 66-ish. It was toggling between 66 and 65. We knew because the truck bed wasn't insulated that would be a source of cool air. So to be a little more efficient in our heating, so that the furnace doesn't have to kick on as often while we're going to bed, we've decided that we're going to put the last piece of the bed in here. What that'll do is this entire walkway space here will be covered by the bed, essentially isolating us from the bed of the truck. This has got to go on for a second. So there we go. We put in that extra piece. Do you like camping? Tristan's locking us in so that no ptarmigan attack us at night. It is 11:50 and everybody is sleepy. All right, it's morning time. Baby man did good last night. Not a lot of crying at all. Slept through the night. It is currently
Hotter than that.
It feels much hotter than 62. We turned the heat up this morning because we're not in fear of running out of propane overnight anymore because it is 8:30 in the morning. You can see the sun is coming up a little bit. Tristan just asked if I can turn the heat down because it's too hot. You can see it's 70 in here. It still feels like it's hotter than that. We're cooking. We knew last night that we were going to get condensation on the windows and the window frames. See right here. But it's not so bad that it's dripping all over the floor or onto our bedding. To mitigate the condensation problem, you'd open up the vent and run that. But because it is cold out and we wanted to ensure that little man was warm, we left it shut, and now we have condensation, which was to be expected. And the condensation is worse on the back door, I feel. It's because probably got the coldest there, and it's got these big chunks of metal around the door frame. They're not crazy wet. Just take a paper towel and wipe around to pick up most of the moisture. Give us a chance to wash the windows from the inside. I think what we want to do with the bed platform is we want to cut it. And because the joint is right here, still in front of the door that we'd be entering and exiting, we'd want to cut it back further than that point so that it's shaded by this door as we're getting in and out. So the point would be like here, and we'd cut triangular from there over to the counter. If we got rid of this little corner piece of the bed, we'd have access to the trash, we'd have a little bit access to the cargo below, and then we could put a pair of Crocs right here to, if you're waking up in the middle of the night, you need to go to the bathroom, be easy to just step into and walk out. Another thing with winter camping is the bumper gets covered in snow and ice and it gets really slippery, so you don't want to be hopping down from up above to landing on something slippery that you can then, fall and hurt yourself. Hey, we're not frozen in. See, my shoes are underneath there. I can fish them out. But this is really slippery. Really, really slippery. So I'm going to grab hold of here. There's actually ice formed. I'll come back for you, sweetie, in a second. A lot of you were questioning on what we were going to do for a bathroom situation. And in this case, we just parked right next to one. And we kind of have the whole place to ourselves because nobody wants to come up here and camp in the winter. At least not yet anyways. Once there's good skiing right up here, then there'll be people here. You can see it's 20 degrees this morning. It's time to make some coffee so we can have coffee and eat our coffee cake. And for that, I'm going to go outside and use the picnic table. I'm going to boil some water. I need the fuel canister.
It's right there.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we got our jet boil. If you've never used a jet boil before, they're really good and fast at boiling water. They're not really meant to be cooked in. It will burn to the bottom so hard. You only make that mistake a couple times, and then you don't do that ever again. You put the lid on it so it boils real quick. One thing I didn't notice about these windows is they have these little drain ports cut in them. That's pretty cool. You can see how it worked last night. As the condensation built up on the inside, it was actually draining out of these windows. Go. And I just lost my shoe. Having a piece of the bed removed right here is going to be a complete game changer. So we definitely need to do that. Getting in and out is way too hard than it needs to be. To make our coffee, we got a coffee pour over, filter. Filter goes in the pour over, ground coffee. You take this, and this fits right on the top of the cup. You take your boiling hot water. And close this up so we don't spill coffee grounds everywhere. And about a 2/3 cup of coffee. We'll do the same thing over here. The remaining of our hot water. We got 64 degrees in here. Heater's been off for a little bit. And we have not connected to shore power ever with this. It's just been living out in the wild. It says it's charging at 0.2 amps, 81% full. Not bad. All right, it's no longer a poop cleaning station. It's a food preparing station. In the blink of an eye. You were saying that it feels a lot colder in the cabinets?
Not a lot, but a bit. Noticeably.
That makes sense. We haven't put any of the direct hot air in there. So you made coffee cake, or did you purchase it?
I made coffee cake.
Nice. That is a hunk.
You don't want that much?
Are you going to eat all of that for breakfast?
No. I figured we might each eat half.
Of the whole thing? Or just of the thing you pulled out?
I could eat that.
Thank you. We get crumblies all in our bed. That's good. You laying like daddy? Except for kicking around a lot more. Ruby is talking it out still. Go. Really pretty place to wake up. We spent the night over by those picnic tables. Really cool to see that we're up above the clouds. Down there, that's right over top of the Matanuska River, headed out of the Matanuska Glacier. We were gonna head down the hill a little bit further, and go on a quick walk before heading back to town. I'll let Ruby run around, chase some birds a little bit. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel Wicked Alaska. See you on the trail.